Hey Shopify users, in this video I am going to give you some tips about the product page and also show you how you can customize the product page on Dawn theme or any other theme to make better use of the Metafield. So let's get into it. So if you're using Dawn theme or any of the free themes, you will see a section like this where you can specify more information about your product. So on the right hand side, you're seeing I have selected materials. I should say left hand side I selected materials, and right hand side you're seeing the details where you can specify the value for materials. Now if your products have like the same material, you might just get away with specifying something here, and then that same value is going to show for all materials. But if not, they're different materials, then you're gonna have to make use of this insert dynamic source, and you go in there, you will see you can add a metafield. I have some added right here, but I can go in here and show you just in case you don't know. So here it will take you to these metafields in the settings. You can also get to this through the main admin area, but let's go into products, and I have already some fields in here. I am going to quickly add one more. Let's call this materials, and then down here you'll see this gets populated. You can give it a description. It's not required. This is just for you, and then you have to select the content type, and you click this. It's gonna be text, and of course that should be right on top right here. So there's two types of text values. I'm selecting single line text, and within single line text you can do one value or list of values. I'll show you list of values later, but let's just do this and save. Now come back here, and I am going to refresh this, and on the right hand side you're seeing material showed up. So I'm going to select that and insert, and you can see it showed up like this. One thing here you could do is maybe like this, right? And you could also bold this. All right, let's save this, and right now you're seeing probably nothing's gonna show because there's no value for that product. And how you do that is you have to go into the product, and I'm going to go and say this product here, and I have some other metafields here. I'm just gonna specify materials here, say plastic. Save this. All right, so let's go here. I'm going to reload this page, and we go down here, and you can see this showed up. So you might already know this, but I wanted to just mention this in case you don't know. You're a total beginner. And one thing I do want to mention here is this you might be okay with, but to me it's like, what's the point if you have one line of data to do this collapse and this? To me it doesn't make sense. If you have something like a paragraph showing, then this collapsible area makes sense. So how do we make this better? Before I get into this, let me show you one more thing about the metafields. So here where I selected this materials metafield, I am going to delete this, and I am going to go in here, and now I am going to select a different type of a metafield. So let's go back into add metafield. Back into products, and I am going to go and add a new metafield again, materials list, like this. Now this time leave this like this, and then of course description if you want to put in anything in here. you're gonna select single line, but this time you're gonna do list of values. And then just, you can explore, there's other criteria here, you can add restrictions here, but I am going to just save this as is for now. Go back to customize area and reload this. On the right hand side you're seeing material list, so this time I'll select that, insert, and I need to get rid of the earlier one, save it. And again, we need to go specify values for these, so I'm gonna go back in the product here, material list. So if you go in here, metal, plastic, rubber. So you can see how it puts those values in here. Now save this. So it puts the values separated by a comma, so it might be useful in some cases. Now let's go back to what I mentioned earlier. This here to me still doesn't make sense, right? Collapse this and it's just like to see just one line. So what do we do? So we want to just show one line and some data related to your product. How do we show that? So if you go back to our customize area, I want to show data separated from this, right? It could be right down here, it could be up here. So I am gonna do something, let's say up here, and we could totally just do a text field, and then I'm going to drag this text field, say below price, right here. And now this text field here, you can change the text to material, and then same thing, add the dynamic source. We will go with this single value here. Like that. You can see right here the value shows up. Now you could also same way do the list the same way, right? You material just like we did earlier, go select that multi value metafield, and then it will put it right here with commas. All right, so this is good. This is all provided in here, you can use. Now I am going to step into a bit more customization so we can show all this data in a better way. So how we can do that? So one thing you notice here, you might wanna emphasize on some of this data here. Like you can see these single values here, you cannot do anything with it. It's just like, you cannot bold it, you cannot basically do any styling, nothing. So how do we achieve that? So what I'm going to show you first is how we can add a rich text field and then present all this data in a better way. So let's get into it. So let's go to code, and if you're a total beginner, of course you will go into the code from your main theme, and then you click on here to edit code, and it will take you right here. And then in here you are going to go to sections and then go to main product.liquid. And in main product liquid, we are going to go all the way down to the settings. And in here, you'll see this text block right here. So let's call it block with like a opening and a closing bracket. These are all blocks like this. And right after this, hit enter. And then I am going to copy paste some code in here, which you guys can copy and write this. So make sure there should be commas at the right place like this, and that's it. So save this. So we have added a setting. Now what we need to do is also add an area up here where we can read that setting. So how we are going to do that is we will go to line. It's around 248, I believe. Actually, truly, it can be anywhere in here where you have this 4 block going on, but I am going to just put it right around 248. So I am pasting some more stuff in here. Right, this. Format this a bit. Okay, so now we are reading that value, that the setting that we added. Now save this and let's check this out. In here, I am going to refresh this page. Down here, now when I go to add block, you can see before we only had text, now we are seeing multi-line text. That's what I added. And I am going to drag this up right around the area where we had the other text. I'm going to put it right under it. And then on the right hand side, you're seeing, look, this is the field that showed up. Now what I'm going to do here is I am going to, same way, do material, and then get that field. Bold this, save this, you go look over here, refresh this page, you can see now this is bolded, and you can, you know, apply some styling to it. So let's get in a bit more into this. What few things you can do here. You see there's a link and stuff. You might want to even show something like, you know, see more details. You know, you off the page, you want to send the user somewhere, you could link this to, say, some page of yours, like, say, I will just go into, say, pages, then promotions, and something like that. I'm just, you know, using whatever. You can put in something what makes sense to you. Save this. So just by adding this rich text field, you know, you can do a lot more than before. So we had the capability of doing this down here, right? But we cannot do it up here, and only option we have to put the text up here is the single line, which doesn't have all these options. So if you want to separate your data, you know, present it separate than the description in this area up here, so you can use this field that I showed you, or you could just use these down here, just drag these up to around this area. Like from here, you can just drag them up here. But then maybe you don't want this whole, you know, tab that you can expand and collapse. Maybe you just want to show data like this. So so then that is not going to work. One more thing I want to show you guys is that you have, say, this link here, and you don't want the customer to go away from this page. You want to show like a pop-up so they stay on this page. There's an existing functionality in here. Add block, right in here you'll see this pop-up, and right here it shows up down here. I'm gonna move this up to that area where we have the other text, and then this way you could just modify this to whatever you want here, and then you can select a page from within here that you want to open, and this way your user doesn't go off away from this page. So that's one more tip I want to give you guys. And lastly, one more thing I want to say is that this all field data that you're adding. This here is being used for every product. So once you specify any of this means it's going to show for every product that is using the same product template. So be aware that then you're going to have to specify this value for every product. And if you want some products to not use this, you could just create a different template for those products, and that's how you could get to show some information for one product and not the other. That will be the most easy way to go about that. Or if you're comfortable with code, what you could do is just create a metafield that shares something like this product has more detailed, and then tie that to this metaline text field, existing one, or create another one and then tie it to that field, so that information only shows when that particular product has the data. So I have more tips for you guys. If you want to show more data like this for your variants, like how are you going to show that for one variant and not the other? So this video is getting too long, so please let me know. I will create another video for that. And thanks for watching the video. Subscribe to the channel. Please like this video, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.